Hello, welcome to my Zephyr build guide. This is specifically catered towards pistol usage. Thanks to her augment, I'm gonna put that up on screen real quick. As you can see, it says you get secondary damage. That stacks up to 500%, which is nice to have. It's definitely beneficial for GunCO weapons. More on what GunCO is later. It makes it quite busted, to be honest. As you saw in the intro clip, I can hit up to 2.1 billion with a Plinx, which is just nuts. Yeah, so let's get right into the mod config. In the aura slot, I have growing power for the juicy 25% strength. We need as much strength as we can get, because this build, Zephyr in general, just needs most of the stats. Efficiency, you don't really need that. But range is important. If you're playing a damage boost, strength is important, and duration is very important, so you don't have to 24/7 recast your abilities. But yeah, as I said, in Aura slot, growing power. In the Excel slots, I'm playing Prime True-Footed, since even though Zephyr's passive says you should basically jump 24/7, you're still on the ground sometimes and you get knocked down sometimes, so it's beneficial to play Sure-Footed. But if you don't wanna, you could replace this for more range, or more strength, though I would say range is more important. Rippling, Blind Rage, Transient Fortitude for the strength, Narrow-Minded, Primed Continuity for the duration, Overextended for the nice range, so we get back to positive, and a bit more. Primed Flow and Equilibrium for the energy economy. And most importantly, like I showed, the Augment mod, which is necessary for this build, since it's a pistol build after all. On that note, we're playing Arcane Precision to boost our damage even further, and mod Augmented for even more strength. If we apply conditionals like Matter Eye, Growing Power, 250 Augmented stacks, we reach right about a 90% Eclipse, almost 100, like 95, something in that ballpark, which is plenty. Ignore that I have like 6 different loadouts. So, quick info, if you plan on using Zephyr outside of like disruption runs or cascade runs, just mod her into pure duration and range, and nothing will ever touch defense targets, or you for that matter, since your shield scales ridiculously with range. Like, that is nuts. 60 meters, any projectiles will get blocked. So yeah, just keep that in mind. For the focus class, we are playing Matter Eye, like I said, for more strength. And for the occasional funny damage with Void Strike, since Void Strike applies to weapons after all. For the Archon shards, we are playing an Equilibrium shard, since we have 45% efficiency. So we're gonna take every bit of Equilibrium we can get. We are playing 2 red shards for secondary crit chance. Those are not needed. You can replace them with anything you want. It does not matter at all. And lastly, 2 casting speed shards. She technically doesn't need it, but her tornado animation is horrible. It takes forever. So I would recommend getting at least 1 in there. Or you could also just play 2 green shards here for the armor strip and just go Cowabunga. As a weapon, I was playing Tombfinger. As you can see, Chamber Tombfinger. This is my loadout. This is my ribbon. Very important, in case you're not familiar with the concept of GunCO. It is basically gun conditional overload. If you don't know, what it means is that normally on guns, galvanized shot or any galvanized status chance mod for that matter acts as a additive increase. Though on some weapon it is bugged. This is a bug that has been in the game for years now. Digital Extreme not fixed it at all. I'm guessing they're just leaving it in because it doesn't really change all that much. But yeah, it acts multiplicative, so it just multiplies itself. So keep that in mind, yeah, in case you wanna build a GunCO weapon. And speaking of GunCO, there is a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet that you can easily find on Google. Just search up GunCO spreadsheet, you're gonna find it in like 5 seconds. In case you're curious on what weapons act multiplicative and which act additive. But enough about GunCO. In the intro clip, you saw me using Plinx. Plinx is just ridiculous. Very underused gun for single target damage, is all I'm gonna say. Though, you could also play Dual Toxicist with this, Stickerus, Latham. The options are endless. Whatever. All pistols work with this. If you want to get the most out of it, just use a GunCO weapon, and that is that. Primary, just play a primer. Any primer will do. I was using phage since viral, corrosive, you can't get it on many guns. And then either cold or heat, depending on what you want. Cold gives you more crit damage, and heat gives you more armor strip. So there's always that to consider. Melee weapon, doesn't matter, play anything here. Though a funny interaction not a lot of people know is that melee influence is absolutely busted with Zephyr tornadoes. It just flat out kills some demo units with one hit. General, it's nuts. In our companion slot, we are playing Deriga, basic Primal Deriga, and a Hellstrom. So be warned, if you're playing, like, let's say, Disruption, and your Deriga primes a lot of stuff with radiation, they're not gonna despawn, they're gonna stay in that room. So if you wanna, like, catch up on your stacks or something, just keep that in mind. And lastly, but most importantly, some info about Zephyr. In case you haven't played her before, her free, it basically blocks projectiles. So anyone who shoots at you that is actually has a travel time, stuff like that will get blocked. Though, let's say MOA beams, the corrupted MOAs, those won't get blocked because they're beams, they don't have travel time. And the biggest bane of Zephyr is eczema units. Be careful of Shock, Jade Light, and Blast Eczema. Those three will hurt you. In level cap, they're just deadly, they just instantly kill you. You go near them, you're dead. There's no going around that. So just keep that in mind when playing Zephyr. So if you keep your space between them, you should have no issues at all. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. If not, I would appreciate a like. And yeah, I have a Twitch channel. I'm gonna link that in the description. In case you're curious, I stream weekly, just weekly content like debugger media, Archon hunt, that sort of stuff. If that interests you, feel free to check it out. And if not, that's alright as well. Anyway, enjoy. Bye.